What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is David Hanlon, aka the Laptop Legend, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about a lot of different tickers that I think have the potential to see at least 100% run, if not multi-100% runs over the next coming weeks and months. So this is going to be a great opportunity to not only nail plays for Monday and this coming week, but honestly just to get some plays on your radar and be prepared for them moving into the rest of the year, because OTC is really starting to heat up. We're getting a lot more dollar volume, which is a big factor in how many plays are running, and I think it will only continue to increase throughout the end of the year. So it's going to be an exciting time, guys, and I'm here to come along for the ride with you guys. So I guess without further ado, let's dive on my laptop and talk about these charts, baby. Alright guys, so I'm here at my computer and this is the chart for ILUS, and you can see it had an absolutely crazy day on Friday. I mean, man, this was just wild. But again, this is what you get when you get this nice consolidation. It just gets another leg up and it really extends. And I mean, wow, it's honestly a crazy chart, especially to think that this thing was at 4 cents not too long ago, and now this thing is, I mean, it's all the way at 28 cents. And based on the strength that it displayed on Friday, I think this thing probably will be gapping up and running again on Monday. Now, whether it runs on Monday and holds those gains and then keeps going on Tuesday, or whether it runs on Monday, fails at some point, goes really high and then goes into a big panic and comes all the way back down to 20 cents, that could also happen. So, we got to be prepared for this one. But I think there's a lot of catalysts coming up, and, potentially it would be crazy, but potentially we could get another leg after whatever happens here. If it goes up to 35, panics down to 25, and then it consolidates in this range, pushes for a leg over 50 cents. It could happen, guys. So this stock is definitely one you do not want to miss, because there's just so much opportunity for profit on this. And I mean, it's crazy how much money some people are making on this thing with patience. I definitely royally butchered this one, because I mean, it's been on my radar since about here, and I should have had a ton of shares for this run, man, but I literally don't have any right now, which stinks, because I played it horribly. I know people who have 1 million shares. I know people who have 5 million shares of this stock. So pretty freaking crazy. But as this thing goes higher, the more likely it becomes that it's going to see a nice panic, which is going to be a nice dip buy in terms of from like a day trading perspective. And typically speaking, when we get these stocks that do this, recently it hasn't been like a super clean dip buy. So it's been like a panic, a bounce that fails, another panic a lot lower, another bounce that fails, another panic, and just like choppy finding a bottom before it finally goes. So be careful on that, guys. I do want to mention this stock was pretty wild. I gotta show you this intraday chart, because pretty much what happened was it had the sell the news phenomenon, right? So this thing, it spiked up. I guess it gapped up, it consolidated here, wedged, broke out higher, kind of double topped here, came back down, but still made a higher low, but pretty much double topped again right in that same area, which is pretty damn bearish. So then, it kind of went sideways after that, was holding this, but as soon as it cracked this, that was a very bad sign, cracking 25. It comes down here, and it's actually consolidating in this area, so we're thinking, all right, maybe it's gonna hold this 24.6 area and rip to new highs. Then they put out this press release talking about their new news. Potentially they got a government contract, stuff like that. You should definitely go read it if you're interested in trading this company or investing in this company. And basically what happened was it spiked up quickly on that news, and then after that, tons of selling came in, and it dumped pretty hard. And I was prepared for this, because when you get a stock that runs up a ton in anticipation of news, I've been talking about this on ILUS for a while, potentially you get the actual news catalyst, there's like a tiny brief spike for like a minute, and then it sells off hard, really hard. Now, I mean, this thing could have tanked a lot farther, but the fact that it made a bottom and then just went back up, it started squeezing. It never went that low again, made a higher low, wedged here, higher low, consolidated here, higher low, broke through this quadruple top, consolidated here, and then just ripped into close, man. Just absolutely ripped. So this stock is pretty wild, man. And I'm really hoping we get, another explosive move, maybe a day or two of rips, potentially up to, 35 cents, 40 cents in this run before we get a big panic And then on that panic, man, I'm ready. And you know, I'll be ready to short the panic. If you're long on ILUS long term, again, I'm just a day trader. I would short my own mother if it would make me money. Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. It's the truth. And you know, then I'll cover and I'll look to dip buy it, and then I'll try to figure out a better swing entry once it kind of stabilizes and forms some more consolidation. Because when I see green straight like this, I can't buy and hold from this point on the chart. It's asinine. So that is not something I will be doing. But this is definitely a stock you cannot be missing. Now, the next stock I got to talk about is AXTG, and I actually talked about this in my video on Thursday. So you know, hopefully you caught some of this run on Friday, because this was a nice run. Well, some more DD came out. You know, kind of over the weekend. It sounds like they're gonna be talking at some presentation. So potentially this thing goes a lot higher, guys, which would be crazy. Now, after this type of run, I mean, whew. I personally can't buy and hold from these levels, but it should be a nice day trade at least. And again, once we get some pullback, some consolidation, figure out a new base, a good area to risk off of, then, you know, potentially load for higher runs. But for me, at these prices, when the chart looks like this, I can't buy and hold from here. But you know, this should be another nice day trade, man. This is one that had a lot of force behind it. You can see it just kept grinding to new highs. Again, I honestly, I butchered this one, man. I traded really poorly on Friday. I was actually negative on my longs. I lost like $600 longing stocks. I made like 4,500 shorting stocks. So crazy, man, like crazy. I feel like I could not trade correctly on the long side on Friday, but you know, it's just one of those days that we all have occasionally. So it's not a big deal. That's why I stick to the rules, cut my losses, and you know, keep moving forward. But this one, high on the watch list, guys. This could easily, with all the hype in Momo, you know, see some consolidation, you know, after potentially another rip, and then break over 25 easily. So from these levels, easily could double. Just keep that in mind. The next one I want to talk about is VXTB. This one, oh, is it VTXB? I always mess that up. I think it is VTXB. Yeah, there we go. Vortex Brands. You can see this. Wow. I mean, this had a 189% run. So you might be thinking it's too late. But, you know, they got no convertible debt whatsoever. They got a new website, and I think they're about to go current, if I'm not mistaken. So between those things, man, this thing could definitely continue to run. There wasn't a ton of volume, so keep that in mind. But, you know, you get charts that look like this, guys. And it could go a lot farther. This could easily go 10 cents plus. So keep it on your watch list. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of that stock. I just want to make sure that it's on your guys' radar. TGGI, I really like this chart. I mean, it wedged like a beauty, man. So I mean, you get nice basing action here, a nice rip, pullback, kind of wedge action, decreasing volume. Out of here, it pops up, consolidates again, rips up again, kind of wedges in here. I mean, that's just beautiful. Again, wash out of volume, rip to the right at the breakout level, guys. So if I had to guess, TGGI is probably going to break out over 1 cent on Monday. It might gap up over 1 cent, you know, to 105 or something, 103, and then just rip from there, close the day, you know, I don't even know, 130 or something like that. I'm not sure how strong this thing's going to be, but I do like this chart a lot. So I'm going to try to get some shares of this on Monday for sure, if I can, and you know, ideally see how far this thing wants to run. So that's kind of my plan with that one. Another one that I want to mention briefly that I actually only day traded, but this is just such a crazy daily chart, guys. This thing ran, I don't even know where it started. I think it was a recent kind of IPO or something like that, but it ran as high as like 48 bucks back in February, and this thing dumped so hard in the last, you know, I don't even know. I don't know how what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, 7.5 months, maybe, yeah, 7.5 months. This thing dumped all the way down to 50 cents. And I mean, if you show me this chart, I'm trying to get it perfect. It's not gonna let me use it. I mean, that is just such a beaten down chart, guys. The risk on this is so low, and the potential reward is so nice. Like, just a crazy chart. And you can see what happened. And if I go to the intraday chart, I mean, it was pretty crazy too. It was pretty freaking crazy, guys. So I actually didn't catch it till right about here. Unfortunately, I started buying. I missed this whole run up, so I got caught a little bit in this washout. But then it formed a pretty nice wedge right here, and you know, you can see just kind of like a flat top breakout. I mean, I can draw it if you guys want to see it real quickly, just to see kind of what I'm looking for on these. But I mean, it's pretty much a flat top. I would say this is more kind of an ascending triangle than anything else. But you know, this is what I was seeing here. And so when it keeps forming these bases and going higher, man, it looks pretty clean. It looks pretty clean. And unfortunately, I started buying at like 265 here. That's where I started getting filled on this big rip can. You can see there's huge volume there. It was tough to get filled because I mean, this is a classic pattern, man. So a lot of people are buying here. And then I got stopped out on this wick, man. Unfortunately, I don't know how I let myself do that, because it goes on to rip from here. I mean, it just goes on just such a nice run, man. Such a nice run. It goes all the way up to 382. So I had like over 5,000 shares there. That would have been a nice gain, man. You know, 5,000 bucks, over 5,000 bucks in, what is that? An hour? In like an hour. Yeah. So I mean, this one just stinks. And then I ended up chasing a little bit at 350, sold at like 380s or something like that. Got some on this dip here, messed up. Got some more here, got out profit. And then I think I fat fingered this one, guys. So I ended up accidentally placing a 20,000 share buy order, because that was my lot size for ILUS, and I still had this pulled up in the same spot. So I placed a 20,000 share buy order at 232 right here. 20,000 shares. Again, that means every penny I lose is 200 bucks. And luckily I didn't get filled the whole thing. I only got filled like 7,800, I want to say. But I had to dump it on the bid right here, and I mean, that was a big swing. You know, 232 all the way to, I think I sold it like 225. So like I got myself back to break even, and then fat finger mistake, lost 500 just like that on my longs. It was very annoying. But this chart is still one that we have to keep on watch. Now, after such a crazy dump, maybe it doesn't run anymore. Maybe it's too big, but I mean, this chart is still pretty insane, guys. So keep this one on your watch list, because it could definitely run. So now to get into a few other charts, just so you can see, guys, I really do like GMPR, guys. This did have such a crazy dump day here. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous, but I do like the basing in this area. And again, they're gonna come out with more news. It's just a nice chart. I like this. I feel like the risk reward from this area is pretty decent, you know, depending on where you put your stop loss. Maybe you don't put any stop loss, I'm not sure. Maybe it has a huge red and cracks this. I'm not sure what the chances of that happening are. But I mean, I think, you know, this chart I think it's pretty nice, and I think easily can double from here. I think easily can break these highs at 15, you know, over the next several months. So I'm probably gonna try to pick up some swings here before the next news comes out. So I do like this one. And then I do want to talk about this real quick, guys. So you can see this is the, well, maybe you can't read that. It's the custodianship list. Someone on Twitter made this, but it's actually pretty helpful if you want to go through and look at all these custodianships. And there's a lot of them, so this is probably really overwhelming if you're a newbie. You know, you don't know which ones to look into. But I think a lot of these are probably going to be running as the mergers start happening, as all these tickers get cleaned up, they get pink current, they get their share reductions, they get their debt taken care of, and then you bring in these new companies into these shells, and these companies are already good companies, you know, not crappy companies. Like, a lot of these companies are actually like really good companies, and because of that, you're going to get a market cap that is going to go up quickly to like more accurately reflect the good company that is coming in to this shell, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm super excited about these mergers, and I am gonna really do my best to be patient on these things, because, you know, a lot of times recently I've been piking stuff, man. I've been piking stuff like AVVH. That was rough, guys. It really was rough. You know, I was saying how great of a trade this is down here, great risk reward. It is now 6 green days in a row, man. And this thing closed strong on Friday, man. This thing closed strong. Like, it consolidated and then it ripped up. People were buying into close. So this thing probably could continue on Monday, which is wild. And, you know, this is just one of the examples of charts like this, guys. We got a lot of really nice charts, and it would not surprise me if this thing breaks this 10-cent highs and goes on a much bigger run, which is crazy to think, because, you know, I had a ton of shares from down here and I've already gotten rid of them. I hate to admit it, but, you know, I already got rid of them because I'm just not patient enough. So that's really something that I'm gonna try to work on. Be more patient on these swings. Give them a couple months, man. At least wait until everything follows through, because I hate selling something, you know, that runs a ton for like meager profits. So since I constantly bring in profits from day trading, I can afford to be a little more aggressive on my swing trading. So that's something I need to work on. But just to show you guys some of the charts, you know, some of the favorite tickers that I do like. So SMM Monopoly Corp. I thought this was Chrisa Management. That's kind of weird. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the same company. Maybe I'm tripping on this one. But AVVH, FBCD, I am a fan of those. There's a couple other ones that, you know, people are calling out that they like, that I've seen all over the place. GVSI, I've seen this from a lot of people, you know, because this is the George Sharp play. Right now, I can't even buy this, but he's probably going to get this current. And again, once that happens, once they bring in, you know, whatever company they're going to bring in, you saw what happened with Humble. He was the person who helped that to happen. You know, he brought Humble in with TSMP back in the day. He did that reverse merger, and this is the chart that happened out of that. So obviously the OTC market was really hot back then. I don't know what happens with OTC market, you know, this winter, but GVSI is not one you want to sleep on. GOFF, that's another one of his tickers. If I go here, you know, you can go down to George Sharp, WRIT, and SRNW. You know, these are the other two tickers. This one is really beaten down. I mean, it's hella beaten down, guys. So I'm not sure if he lost this one. I would do a little more research on that. Potentially he lost this one, but if he didn't, you know, I feel like it's almost impossible that this thing doesn't go up from here. You know, I mean, how is it not going to go up? Especially if he does what he's supposed to. It could easily break those all-time highs. I mean, risk reward is crazy on that. You probably can't buy this one right now, so keep that in mind. SRNW, that's the other one. This is a crazy chart. Jesus. I didn't realize it ran up that much on like no volume. This is super thinly traded, but keep that in mind, guys. These are some nice charts. ILST, it's a pretty nice chart. You know, it was ugly for a while, but now it's, you know, forming some bases, and I think it rips to new highs soon. I think we just had JPEX rip to new highs. Like, you can see these charts were ugly for a while, but it does not take that much to get them to new highs, and these could easily run to 10 cents plus when they get a good merger candidate, guys. So just think about, you know, if you can get 100,000 shares or something from a good price at a penny and sell it at 5 to 10 cents a share, like, you can make a lot of money on that, man. You can make a lot of money. It can be life-changing money, especially if you can get bigger size. Let's see what else. OCLG, this is, you know, this is a nice one. This is a nice one. I got to pick some more up of this one. And this stinks because I found these, like, I came in kind of to this sector kind of right here, right at the top. The more recent top. That's when I found out about this. You know, if I'd done more research, I would have been getting in down here and I would have been up golden on these things. But I started getting in here, so I had to cut some bags on these. And I think because of that, I'm a little hesitant to get back in. But I think really, once these start getting their good companies, man, they're going to go crazy. KRFG, this is another one. You know, really nice basing right here. Once we get updates on this thing, it should rip. FBCD. I like this one. You know, this, again, guys, I got stopped out 500K shares at the lowest point. No, again, nobody has sold shares lower than me in the last, I don't even know, like 4 months on this freaking stock. I got stopped out right here on this wick at 105. I'll never forgive myself for that one. I mean, that just really stinks. I lost thousands and thousands of dollars because of that. Crazy. But yeah, you know, there's that one. I like FBCD. IFAN, this is another one. That's got a pretty decent chart, but man, that's a beautiful wedge right there. It's going another leg higher, probably breaks these highs. ILIN, that's another one. We just got a lot, guys. We got a lot. FCGD, I got like 2 million at this one. Again, should rip through those highs, like more than 100% upside. So just keep all these tickers in mind, guys. I think as we get towards the end of the year, it's going to be pretty insane. So I don't want you to miss out on this, especially if you can, you know, just pick some of those tickers that I just mentioned. Get in at like a good entry. You know, if you see huge green spikes, try not to get in, you know, after 5 green candles in a row on the daily chart. You know, maybe wait, see if you can get some consolidation, see if you can get a pullback, get in close to the base, and then just sit on it for a couple months, guys. Again, that's not financial advice, but that is what I plan on doing. And I'm very confident that, you know, moving forward in these next few months, it will help me grow my account more exponentially than if I'm, you know, just scalping out here, day trading, making $5,000 a day. Because if I can hold some of these stocks, put some money in, and get 5 to 10x returns with a $5 grand investment, you know, maybe I'll get a 50K day just because I take some profits in some swing trades. So that's what I'm looking to do over these next, you know, couple of weeks, months, and yeah, that's my plan. So hopefully you found it helpful. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, you know the drill. Let's grow better together.
aguantar. Bebé, dime por qué te mientes. No puedes esconder todo lo que tú por mí sientes.